All right, welcome back. We're going to be adding cheats to our game to make it easier to code or at least design our levels, and then also make it easier for me to grade. So the question, though, is where's the best place to put your cheats? And the answer is the object controller would be a good place. We know that there's a controller in each of the playable levels, each of the rooms, so that would be a good choice for this. It looks like this is the wrong class. Let me get the right class here, because I've already done it in this one. I've got to find another project. I grabbed the wrong one. Maybe we already did the cheats. Oh, we did. We already did the cheats. Okay, that's why. I was going, why is this? Okay, so we've done the cheats. There should be 4 cheats. There's R that restarts the game. So we're looking at that. Let's see, what does that look like? Just restart the room. So R is restart room, not restart game. And then L adds life. Okay, so he's just set lives relative to 1. Remember, it's the controller that has the live variable in it, so we're using that one. And then here, go to the next room. We first check to see if there is a next room, and if there is, we go to it. And then finally, that's the N key. And then P key, check to see if you're not in the first room. If you're not, then you go to the previous room. So those are all required for me to grade it. Now, if these aren't there, then I don't grade your project. Okay, so if you're thinking I'm not going to do these, that's a mistake, because again, this is for me mostly. It's also helpful for game development. Hey, Eddie.
Sorry, I lost my phone. I couldn't find it.
Okay, well, thanks for letting me know. Okay, did you find it though?
Yeah, I found it.
Oh, excellent. I'm glad. Yeah, anytime I lose my phone, I just feel wrong. It's scary. Okay, so we have the cheats in there. What else do we need to do? Okay, so let's talk about then saving. Say you did want to be able to load and save a game. Let me show you some of the functions that are available. Unfortunately, saving games, I think, are missing from here. If I just say save, let's see what we have here. We have save buffer, save game. Okay, and so what we were thinking, I guess originally, was whether we were going to use this or not. It'd be interesting to try to save it and see what happens, and then try to load it later. Maybe we try that experiment right now. So this is an experiment. You don't have to follow along with me and do what I do, because I'm not sure. I doubt this is going to work, but it might be something we want to try maybe in future. So there's a save game thing there. So let's, again, I'm going to do this myself. Like I'm saying, don't follow along with me on this one, because I'm not too confident this will work. So let me try this. I think this one saves it to disk. This one saves it up in memory. So you have 2 different ways of saving. This would be good if you wanted to create a checkpoint in your game. Say you get to a certain position, but you don't want to start the whole room over. You want to start at a certain checkpoint. This would be a good way to do that. But if you want your game save to last between the time the computer is turned off and back on again, this would be the one you want to choose. Where would I initiate this? Well, probably in the controller again. We know the controller, there's one in every room, so we'll use that controller. And this time, if you remember in our help stuff, I'm going to use the S key. The letters, I'm going to use the letter S. So in the case where we press the letter S, we're going to do that save thing. Let me type that in again, save. And we'll just save the game. Now this isn't a great game saving thing. If you had added any sprites programmatically or have done any kind of specialized coding, this probably isn't going to work. I don't think we've done that, so this might work, but we'll see. It'll save it to save.dat in the folder where your project is located, I guess. And so I'm going to try that. And then we need a way to load it, right? So let's see if we have a way of loading. And here's load game. So where would I put that? Well, if you remember in our first room, we have our load button. It doesn't do anything yet, so let's put it there. What event will we choose? You choose a mouse left pressed event. Okay, left pressed. And what do we do there? If they click on the left button on the thing, we want to load our game that we saved, and it will use that same name, save.dat. How do we test this out to see if it works? Let's try it. Again, I'm not super confident this is going to work, but okay, so I'm going to start my game. I'm going to get past this first level, and then once I get past it, I'm going to press the S key. Another power-up idea you might think about would be is one where you put pop or put catch in automatic mode, and it automatically follows pop and keeps it underneath them so that it automatically plays the game for you. That's kind of fun. Okay, so here I'm going to hit the S key. So I just saved the game, and my hope is that if I go back to this previous screen and I hit load, that I'll end up in room 2, not room 1. Let's see if that happens. It did work. Look at that. Ooh, that's cool. That means we can save games. Ooh. Okay, so maybe I was thinking that they didn't have, in the previous class, I was thinking they didn't have anything in the drag and drop features for saving games, but it looks like this works. So let's do that as a class. I'd like you to add these two things then. Now that we know that it works, we can try it. Okay, so what did I do to make that work? It's really simple then. Here you say key press S. So we're going to add S as another. This is not a cheat, but this is actually a key. Remember in our help we said, well, let's go look at it. Our help object here, we said that if you, let's look at this sprite. Yeah, we had said that if you press the letter S to save your game, you can do that letter S in any room that there's a controller that's going to save your game. So again, we in our controller then, let's go back to the controller, add an S key press event, and what you want to do is save the game. And what it does, it'd be interesting to see what's in that DAP file. I want to go look at it. I bet you it's a text file, so we might be able to read it. But the question is, where is that? I'm doing an experiment where I'm trying to create the game out in OneDrive to see if I can make this work. It's still updating, though. It's still not quite there yet. Here's that one. And I'm trying to figure out where it puts the DAT file. So let me search for that. star.dat. DAT stands for data, I guess. I'm searching. It's not finding it. So I was assuming it would put it somewhere in here, right? Because that's where the game is located. But I don't see that. Where else would it put it? So I have no idea where this DAT file gets stored. My guess is, oh boy, where would it? If it's not there, ooh. Ah, geez. There's a directory here that you can get to called $. You can't really see it because they hide it from you. But I think it's data. No, it's not data. Yeah, there's a hidden directory in here that we can't see. Yeah. So they might be storing it in that. But yeah, I'm just not sure where they're storing that DAT file. That's kind of interesting. I guess in here we don't have to worry about it so much. We just need to know that it's stored somewhere, and then when we load it, it's going to be in the same place. So here's where we save it. They hit the letter S on the controller, and then we save it. You can just keep using the same name, save.dat. And then to actually load it, we want to put that on the load button. We finally get that to work. So here's our load button. So far, it hasn't done anything, but what I'd like you to do is add a left pressed event. So here, this would be under mouse, left pressed. Left pressed. And again, what do you want to do when that happens? They press the left mouse button on top of the button, the load button. Then you want to load the save game, and notice it has the same name. You can change the name of the file if you want, but I can't even find where the file is located. I'm not sure where it's saving it. But it did seem to work. So maybe, I always like a game where if you're playing it, you can stop for a moment and go get a bite of sandwich or something, come back. You don't have to start over again. You can start from the place where you last saved it. Now, word of warning, you have to be careful with saving games because you can make your game super easy to defeat or to win if you put save game technology in your game. Okay? And the reason why I say that is that, like, say you have this really hard level that's building, and then you say, well, I'm going to let them save. And so now they don't have to start from the beginning anymore. They can start kind of in the middle. For example, I'm playing old StarCraft 2, and I'm on the last version or the last level of the one that has Jim Raynor in it. And I can't beat that game. And I'd really, really like to save it. And I can, but all the checkpoints I have are unwinnable. So I have to go back to the beginning and start over. So you got to be careful with saving game information. Now, it looked like to me, it only saved it from the beginning of the room. So it's on a room-based basis. So maybe it just keeps track of which room you're in and puts you there. But that's how you save the game. That's how it works. And we found that when we run the game, I can say load again, and see it starts right at the beginning of the level. So that's my second room, so you can see that my save actually worked. What would be interesting is if I resave the game kind of halfway through this level, I'm wondering if it will put all the objects in the same position. I'd be really surprised if it does this. Oh, that was weird. Oh, I didn't. Let me load the game again. So here's my previous key. I was doing that before too. I don't quite understand that. I'm going to restart this. I hit the P key. I'm not on the first room. It should take me to at least the help screen room. It doesn't even do that. But here, I'm going to load the game. And here I'm going to hit S right there. I'm going to see if it picks it up in the middle of the level or does it start at the beginning. So I'm going to try loading it again. And what I'm thinking might happen is it starts with already there's stars being split. Let's see. Yeah, it saved the actual state of the game. That's really cool. So what that means is you can save at any time, anywhere in the level, and it will pick up right where you left off. It's not just the beginning of the room. It's anywhere in the room. And it keeps track of where all the objects are. It's very slick. You can't, I can't even overemphasize how hard it is to save the state of a game. It's very, very difficult. And they have that all built in for you. So that's pretty cool. All right, so we got load done. Now what about scores? Remember, our scores button doesn't do anything yet. Well, So how do we do that? Well, let's look at score and see what we have available to us. We have draw instance of the score. We have set score, get score, if score. Notice there's no high score. High score, let's see. place. No, it's not high score, not high score. So there's no place in this drag and drop environment where you can actually do your high scores. Okay. Unlike the ability to save a game, high scores isn't shown here. Now there is a way to do it. If you look here in the help and you say open the manual. Let me do this again. I want to open it up online. It doesn't give me that option. Okay, so we look here. What we can do is we can go search or do an index here and say high score. And notice it's mentioned here. Yeah, here. Miscellaneous functions. There is some functions available in GML for handling high scores. Now they say this: to help you create and maintain high scores for your game, GameMaker creates a global high score array of 10 places which you can access. So it's global. Add to and change to create your own custom high score list without too much fuss. This functionality is local to the game and works on all platforms. So you can easily store and maintain a basic high score table using these functions along with the file handling functions. So the following functions exist and are that deal with the internal high score list. So you have these functions here: high score add, high score name, high score value, high score clear. So each high score has a name and a value, which would be the high score itself. You can add it. You can clear all the high scores if you want. And it says this: GameMaker Studio 2 also includes a function for drawing the high scores out on the screen as a list. However, it is very basic, and it's recommended that you use this for debugging more than anything else, as making your own high score table is easy and it will give you far more control of how it's displayed. So there is a draw high score. But notice none of these are drag and drop. Okay? And a lot of us don't know really how to code yet in GML. So what I'm going to say on this one, you're welcome to give this a try if you'd like, but it's not a requirement for the game, this ability to show the high scores. It'd be nice if we could do it, but since it requires you to use GML to get to these functions, we haven't learned how to code really in GML. I'm not going to hold you to that one. So that requirement for that game is going away. But you are welcome to try this. If you want to do this in lieu of one of your power-ups, you can do that. Okay, so you can try to add this high score screen if you're gung-ho and want to give it a try. If it were me and I had a little programming experience, say I've taken my Java class, or I've taken a C# class, or maybe any kind of text-based programming experience, then I think you might be able to pull this off. But if you haven't done that yet, yeah, I think that would be a kind of a challenge. So anyway, those functions are there. I just wanted to make sure you knew about them if you want to ever try to do that. And I might try to do that. All right, so what do you need to work on the rest of the day today? If you are done with the game, then you have to do level design. If you're not done with the game, you haven't done your power-ups yet, you want to do those first. And then you have the cheats in there. That'll help you with your level design. So if you just want to jump to a room and work on that level. Realize when you finish the coding, you're only half done with the game. The other half is the level design. If you have bad level design, it doesn't matter how good the coding is. Nobody will want to play your game if your level design isn't very good. We're probably going to take a pause on this at the end of this game, and we're going to take a look at what makes a good game. Okay? And you think it's pretty straightforward, but it's really not. There's some things that I hadn't realized that the book kind of points out, and so we're going to take a look at that before we dive into our next game. But here we're getting close to the end of this one. So get your power-ups working, do some level design. When is this game due? Good question. It's due. I love answering my own questions. When is it due? Here's the assignments. So we look at Rainbow Reef, and it looks like it's due this Friday. Okay, so we have today, we have Wednesday, and then we have Friday. But don't think you'll have the whole period on Friday to work on it. We're going to start our new game. We'll start talking about our new game, introduce it on Friday. Yeah, question? Yeah, so probably we're looking in the wrong place. So there's a few people that are stuck because their games are kind of in weird places. So I'm going to come and look and see if we can find those. I'm going to do that now. Okay, so let me just stop the video here.